if someone else has an argument with you for not agreeing on a certain decision, will you persist on your policy or simply view this thing from another aspect, as a 10-year-old boy would suggest? I think we all know the answer, but it's quite plain and not persuasive. Let me share my personal convincing experience to further explain how confined we are when seeing or believing a fact. First of all, you have to picture there is the crossroad near main dormitory 1, the crossroad. And I was standing in this block waiting for crossing Keelung Road. And the 7-Eleven was there. The traffic light controlling whether to pass Changxing Street was about to turn red. And I coincidentally saw Jiang, who was famous for his academic performances in my high school times, eating a stack of snacks. He was waiting as well, and that stack of snacks seemed to be run out on time with my glimpse, because he started to throw it onto the air. He threw and caught it, threw and caught it. Suddenly, that disposable packet fell parabolically down to the middle of Changxing Street. And the traffic light ruling Keelung Road turned green, which means the traffic light ruling Changxing Street turned red. So he and I were supposed to move. However, Jiang stood still like a noble statue. Wow, what a decent man who take his responsibility to pick up the trash. So in return of his elegant act, I decided to accompany him and also spy him secretly. The traffic light turned green and Jiang strolled to the middle, picking up the trash. When he continued to move forward, somebody beside me called him enthusiastically, "Hey, Jiang!" Oh, it was his friend that beckoned to him. So in response, Jiang turned back and stepped in the opposite direction. He and his friends were then standing beside me, talking gladly. I heard a few words drifting into my ears. His friend said, "Huh, I didn't know you keep such a good habit to pick up the trash. Is it for protecting the environment?" Jiang replied, "Yeah, I particularly cannot bear the environment being marred. But only in my good mood will I do these kind of things. So I'm quite pleasant now." Wait a minute. Did he mention that he pick up his own products instead of doing this kind of charity works? Would what he just said mislead others to admire his dignified deed of picking up others' trashes? Even though he made a good example of taking accountability, I couldn't help but think of him as a hypocrite, sort of. And we passed the Keelung Road together. And Jiang waited again. I guess he intended to go to the 7-Eleven, but I had no interest in him anymore. A few days later, I met my friend. Our topic of gossip also led from girls to studies and back to those celebrities in our high school times. I told him I was totally disappointed by Jiang's hypocritical acts. It was a shame on all our Kaohsiung high school students. However, my friend protested that he indeed saw Jiang picking up trashes on campus or near the dormitory area. So that was quite interesting. I ended up in perplexity, not knowing which aspect reflects Jiang honestly. All I have concluded is that You believe what you see and you believe what you think, but not to resist accepting new sketches drawn by others. At the end of my speech, I want to tell you something. In fact, in truth, there is no John. All the things I've talked about were made up by me. They are all fabricated, including all the events. So you see how confined we are by seeing or believing a fact, which may not necessarily be the truth. Toastmasters of the evening.